So as we heard a little earlier, the Joburg Mayor Mpho Phalatse gets to hold on to her mayoral chains, at least for the rest of the year. And she says she's not letting the uncertainty get in the way of doing her job. Yesterday, she threatened to cut off services at public hospitals and clinics around Johannesburg if the Gauteng Health Department did not pay the 240 million rand she says they owe the city. They've got to make this payment by Friday, otherwise she's going to cut them off. Let's speak now to Masibolekwe Ndima, Gauteng Health's acting chief financial officer. Mr. Ndima, thank you so much for joining us. I understand that the Gauteng Health is disputing that you owe 240 million rand. Tell us how you've added up what you owe the city and how you came to that amount.
Maybe let me start here. Good evening to you and your viewers. Our dispute is simple as this. I'll just cut to the chase. The city, we've been paying, first of all our accounts with the city are up to date. We then had a situation whereby the city stated that on two of our institutions, they will have to backdate the water charges and also sanitation for 7 years. And then what we said to the city was to say, okay, fine, you can do that. However, we would want to you guys to investigate and maybe bring our engineers as part of this, because it doesn't make sense. You can't be billing someone for all the years and then suddenly you say, look, I've been underbilling you on this institution for 3 years, here for 7 years. So that is the dispute. And we said to them, look, if you investigate the cause, and because we don't believe we owe you that particular amount, we will be able to pay you. But we need to be convinced, because every month we are paying the city.
Okay, so, and this relates to Charlotte Maxeke Hospital and the Sizwe Tropical Disease Institute, according to your media release. So are you saying to me that you have been paying the bills for these two institutions for water and sanitation over that period, but the city is saying actually you weren't paying enough?
Yes, so what the city says that, look, you have been paying, but we have just noticed something, and we will backdate on the bill for water for 3 years, additional charges, and on the sanitation for 7 years. For 7 years, we'll backdate it. And we said, even there, no problem, but we need you to convince us to say, where are these additional charges are coming from?
All right.
And then we said, the sooner we do that, then we'll pay.
So you need to be shown how they've come to that amount. And does this account for the entire 240 million rand?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So let's just listen to what Joburg Mayor Mpho Phalatse said a little earlier. And this is just after she'd heard the news that the opposition parties were not going to be going forward with that motion of no confidence. She spoke a little bit about the fact that she's trying to get the 2 billion rand loan approved, and also they're going after people who are not paying. Let's take a listen.
Our focus now will be to make every day count. Every day that we've been given to serve our residents will be used exactly for that reason. Yes, we did not approve the 2 billion rand loan yesterday. We were quite disappointed. We're not yet in a crisis situation, as the group CFO explained. We will be meeting. In fact, tomorrow we will be convening to look at what can be done. The good news is that Operation Buya Mthetho is in full swing. We are collecting revenue. We're seeing big owers coming to, debtors coming to the city to pay us what they owe us. So we're quite excited about that. There's a 47 million rand pledge from the NHLS. There's a 40 million rand that's come through as well today, I think, from Gauteng e-government, and so on and so forth. And we're watching the Department of Health as well very closely. We've given them until tomorrow to pay something towards the 240 million rand debt. So with every day that comes, we continue continue to collect, and we're going to continue with this operation and hopefully increase revenue collection. However, that's not the only thing we're going to do to deal with the financial situation. We continue to strengthen controls, internal controls, to look at expenditure and so on and so forth. We've got a whole team that is led by the MMC for Finance and the Group CFO in partnership with myself and the City Manager to look at what everybody can do to contribute.
All right, so listening to the Mayor, it seems that she wants some sort of commitment by Friday to have some sort of payment plan. She didn't say, I need the full amount by Friday. You're saying, well, show us how we owe this money. Have they responded to your request for them to give you the data on these back payments and explain how they've come to that figure?
On this particular account, they have not given us anything. However, they also came in early this week claiming that one of our institutions, although we've been paying the electricity under City Power, there is an additional charge. And then I facilitated that we meet with them. We met with them. And then they presented to us, and we agreed with the colleagues. I must also commend the colleagues from City Power, led by Tim Begile, where we've given them our engineers to work with them and understand where the additional charges are coming from. But when it comes to these two, water and sanitation, we are still waiting. However, we have asked the colleagues from City Power to meet with us on the 28th, which is Monday, where we'll have a report upon these additional charges of electricity under the named institutions. And we hope that the city's team under water and sanitation will be part of that meeting and also take this opportunity and do what City Power is doing by actually allowing an investigation on an unclear.
You know what us residents of Joburg are told when we have a dispute. We'll settle the amount and we'll deal with the dispute later. So talk to me about what's going to happen tomorrow. Are you just not going to pay a cent? Are you going to try and urgently say, look, please don't cut us off. We're having a meeting on Monday. Let's deal with this over the next few days. What's the plan of action tomorrow?
Look, it's two ways. We have to be responsible as the provincial government. We also hope the city may also be responsible and allow an opportunity to actually look at this matter and also investigate on it. But if they are under strain, as I heard your interview, I mean, we can talk about it to say, look, guys, you've been paying all your accounts up to date. This date, long time ago, I think sometime 2019, this date. And this was a situation where we said, look, let's look at it, let's investigate it. But tomorrow, and I'm hoping that my colleagues in the accounts payable department will try and speak to the city, at least do what City Power, which is their entity, are doing, to say there is an unclear bill. Let's have a look at it. I don't want to go to other things of what the mayor said. I mean, as City of Johannesburg, the billing issues, I'm not part of it.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I'm saying that if there's an additional bill, allow us a chance to actually interrogate that. Let's agree, especially if you come after many years and say you want to backdate for 7 years, you want to backdate for 3 years.
I understand. If they come with the data and say, look, this is how we've added it up, and it makes sense to you, will you pay it?
Look, as the department, what we'll do, I won't lie to you and say we'll pay it in full. We'll make an arrangement.
Sure.
Remember, as government, we work on budget. Anything above to what you have budgeted for, there are certain processes that must kick in because it becomes irregular, because it's something. So for us also to cover that particular area, we need to be convinced there is a data you have been spending here. So what we can do, we can enter into an arrangement because it's something that they only came with it yesterday or a day before yesterday. I don't know when you guys interviewed the mayor, and it then
it was yesterday.
To be there, and I can tell you yesterday.
Yeah.
And there's no official, even the group CFO that has contacted us to say, look, here is your debt, here is the details of the 240 million, we need payment. I would have engaged with him or her.
All right, now I understand what you're saying. So if they can prove and explain to you how that amount was not billed correctly and now they want the money back, you wouldn't say no, but you would ask for some sort of reasonable payment plan. All right, well, good luck. Let's hope that in the next few days you're able to sort all of this out. Thank you so much. That was Masibolekwe Ndima, who's the Gauteng Health Acting Chief Financial Officer. The mayor, of course, has given them a deadline to pay back 240 million rand. She says they owe that for water and sanitation. Gauteng Department of Health is saying, OK, just show us how you've come to that amount of backdated through 7 years at these two institutions. And if you can prove that, we'll come to some sort of agreement on repayment.